What's up, everybody? Podcast time?
What's up,
Yo.
peeps?
What's up?
Yo,
What it do?
Peeps! People still say peeps?
I feel like
he's youth pastor. He has to say peeps.
I feel like people say peeps.
People
That's
say
an old
peep?
thing, right?
Yeah, that's an old
really
thing. My peeps.
Yeah, my peeps is back.
My peeps is back. You used to say my peeps?
I've always said it. I never let it die.
Oh wow.
Dang. He single-handedly kept it going.
Yeah, appreciate that, Simba.
I ain't claiming that.
Sim said, Caleb was telling us what podcast was going to be on today. And Sim said, yes, I'm still the younger generation.
Yeah, for real.
He's not the youngest staff member we have.
I'm not.
No, not even close.
Johnny's
Nah.
older. Johnny's younger than him, but Johnny acts 40.
Johnny, Joseph,
They both
Haley,
act older than me.
Caleb, Tobana for sure. That everybody,
Haley don't act older than me.
but that's everybody that's younger than you on staff, though, right?
Yeah, because my wife's older than me.
Robbing the cradle, son.
I didn't even know.
You know what robbing the cradle means?
No.
That's what Russell
like I
Westbrook
should-
does when he dunks on somebody.
Oh no. When
No,
he,
that's
like,
rock.
goes-
That's not rocking,
Rocking
the
the
cradle.
cradle.
That's when you
Like rocking the cradle is when you
robbing the cradle.
Oh.
It's when
You
you
steal the little baby out of the cradle and marry him.
So
So
that's
Olivia
when
did
you
with
get older.
Sim. She stole a little baby
That's
out
what
of the
they
cradle.
say
and
about
married him.
somebody who marries somebody who's younger.
Oh.
Reagan and Caleb. She robbing the cradle.
I didn't know that.
You know?
That happens a lot here, man. I think that's I didn't call no names, but that's a thing here.
That's a
I'm
thing
a foot
here.
taller though, so it's not that big of a.
Johnny and Christy. Christy robbed the cradle.
Yeah.
I didn't call no names.
She robbed the cradle hardcore.
Christy.
Did May rob the cradle?
No chance.
No chance?
She the cradle. Love you, babe.
How's married life?
It's awesome.
You gotta talk in the mic so you can hear
It's
you.
awesome. It's awesome. Actually, it's funny. Maddie today looked at me and gave me a hug today and was like, "Man, while we're having book study the other day, she just looked at my ring and was like, I can't believe you're actually
I can't believe
mature now.
I can't
I was
believe
like, I've been mature since I saw you. She's like, absolutely not. But no, married life is awesome.
So you're probably maybe 2 months in now.
2 months in. I'm not doing the days and the minutes.
Yeah, but
yeah.
but somewhere around 2 months in.
Yes.
And what is like? So everybody, I feel like whenever they get married, they have something that they didn't know about their spouse. That in that process, you're like, wow. After 2 months, I found out that May is what, or that she does these things, or that this is something that.
You got to be careful here.
No, it's not difficult for me because I mean, just blunt the way I am.
Yeah.
No, but she has a personality. Like she's very, and by personality I mean like she's, she can be very assertive. Like and I didn't know that. I feel like she was just waiting for me to say I do. And so like now, whenever I even like say stuff, because before in the past I used to think, oh, like her personality is not really strong.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like when I want to do something, she's like quick to be like, okay, like what about this? And I'm like, where did that come from?
Nice.
And so it's definitely very humbling.
Yeah.
As but also it's very good because it's like two people that don't think the same way.
Yeah.
Checks and balances and
How
stuff.
did how did premarital counseling go?
Oh no, that's not what we were supposed to talk about.
Not at all.
So can we like?
No, but I think it's important. Next generation, premarital counseling. How did that go? Did you feel like that was beneficial to your marriage?
Can we do a timeout? and talk about
Not
it.
Zach Morris.
Okay.
You know who Zach Morris is?
No.
Oh.
Zach Morris is no.
Saved by the Bell. He used to be able to time out and stop the show and freeze everybody.
But they would all awkwardly sit there
Sitting
and
frozen.
Yeah.
they're trying not to move and shaking back and
Yeah.
forth like this the whole time.
Was premarital counseling beneficial?
It
to
was
you?
very, very. It was very, very beneficial. I definitely cannot see how people can go into marriage without doing that.
Yeah.
Like multiple times.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, it was a game changer for us. Because then because now when things even like pop up during marriage, you're like, we
talked about this. Yeah,
So you're
my boy.
so you're able to look at me, Maddie. You see that I'm mature now. So you're able to actually really navigate and go through it like with the same mind, like with the same mind. So it's not like, oh, this person is just gonna just let it slide, sweep it under the rug. We're like, okay, like we talked about talking about this,
Yeah.
So when is the right time to talk about
Love it.
So it's good. Thank you so
So
much for
good.
that.
I feel like I haven't been on here in a while, so I feel like I saw him last week on here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I feel like you haven't been on here in a while, so I feel like we need to ask some more
Let me
questions.
just change your body.
All right. Nice hat. Where'd you get it from?
My wife bought it for me.
Sweet girl.
Yeah.
Is this outfit that you have on, is this considered, I mean, obviously it's traditional wear, but is this considered traditional wear as well, or is this considered like casual traditional wear?
It is.
Or
More casual traditional wear, but it is traditional wear.
Okay. So you would wear this to church
yeah
or something on a
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think part of the reason why I even like wear stuff like this is because it's like people can look at it and be like, oh, I would actually wear that.
Yep.
Rather than when you go straight up like with the design, like the African
Mhm.
designs, people are like, I'll probably not like be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
May, I saw her in your social media stories. She was shopping it up, getting all of the crazy designs
Yeah,
from
yeah.
and it looked like an African kind of flea market,
Yeah.
like marketplace type thing
Yeah.
where everybody's selling clothes, and she's and you were like, no, we're not paying that, we're paying this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to be the bargainer for us.
Yeah.
Because they'll tell her is this price, and she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, there is like 8 different prices. Okay, you have to like
gotta work
bargain.
the system.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, something that you would like in dollars value, you're spending. They're telling you, oh yeah, it's like $15, 15 American dollars. You end up buying it for $2 or
Yeah.
$3 because they start up and
Yeah.
kind of just talk about
It's
it.
kind of like when you go to the Bahamas. I don't know if you've ever been, but you walk through the marketplace in the Bahamas, and you're like, oh, this is $200, and you're like, come on,
Yeah.
come on. You're
I
not.
know
You're
you
not
thought
getting
you
me
got
on
me because I'm an
this.
American.
You're
but
not getting me on this. Not a chance.
I ain't one of them.
Nah.
What's up, everybody? Simeon Sloan,
So
Tobena Uzo,
What's good?
Caleb Barfield,
Yo,
Jamie Barfield.
my dad.
We have the bobbleheads out today. Caleb tried to leave them out again, but we talked him into getting them. You don't like your bobblehead?
I don't know. Put it in the comments. You guys like my bobblehead?
He looks a little bit pudgy.
He does look really pudgy.
Got a
off-season
fat
till then.
face. You got-
Has a really, really fat face.
that's the
And-
that's the when you got surgery and you couldn't move and you couldn't, you gotta
And the hairline my hairline is not that bad.
Not that bad.
It's not.
You should have wore a hat for your picture.
I probably should have. Next one.
I did.
Me and Simeon did.
Next one.
well, it's all good.
It's cool though. Not everybody can say they have a bobblehead, so
That's
I'm
true.
grateful for that. Thank you,
That's true.
Caleb.
If you want me to get you a new one, we'll auction that off in the shop.
Your kids, your teenagers would go crazy to have
That
the
is
first
true.
ever
Tobena.
Tobena
That's a great
Uzo
fundraiser
bobblehead.
dog.
That's not
idea.
a bad idea at all. That's not
First
a bad idea.
generation
Remind me
bobblehead.
about that.
And everybody has to pay $2 just to even enter the drawing.
That's like a 50-50 raffle. Where
And
we
then
just,
we're drawing one. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. This is,
youth group
So-
fundraisers.
huh?
Youth group fundraisers.
Yeah, we could do it. You ever watch like those funny videos on Instagram of youth group memes and
I've
things?
seen a lot of them.
Youth
and
group
they're
I send you a
fun.
lot of them.
Yeah,
Are
he used
so
to send me.
good.
He used to send me. Caleb used to send me a lot too.
I love those things.
It's funny.
That's so true.
It's true.
It's true. All right. We're in sacred season, and it's amazing. We love it. It's incredible. 21 days fasting prayer. Kind of getting to the place to where, honestly, trying to consecrate ourselves to God completely and saying, God, sanctify us and put us in a place to where we can be fully in surrender, used by you.
Speaking of,
My bad.
it's got me like extra sleepy lately
Extra
too.
sleepy.
The fasting.
Fasting
got
did
me.
that to you.
Yeah.
You've obviously pushed us in youth group,
Yeah.
fasting
Oh,
and
yeah.
prayer. Y'all were doing prayer Monday night while we're doing prayer in the sanctuary. Y'all are doing it in the dome. Fasting, reading devotion, all that sort of stuff. And what's the feedback you're getting from the kids?
I don't want to say lots of complaints,
Yeah.
but I recall a teen coming to me saying, "Yeah, I was praying about it, like you said we should, and I think God put it in their heart to even add sugar and fast sugar."
Nice.
And they came back 2 days later tripping. They were like, "Man, it's so hard. It's so hard." Some of them are doing adding, of course, like I joined the whole church and fasting the meal. But in addition to that, I was like, in this day and age with teenagers and social media, I was like, as a youth group, I want everyone to pray about it, but we're fasting social media as well, some type of social media. So, a good amount of the youth of the teens are fasting
It's
social
incredible.
media.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
so, but
It's incredible.
it's been hard. It's definitely been
Yeah,
hard for them.
I can see them complaining because my kids have always complained through that age. I remember Cammie whenever she was little, probably our first sacred season, she fasted dresses.
I remember
She
that.
loved dresses, and she fasted dresses. She's like, I'm going to go wear dresses for 21 days. And that's all she ever wore. So I love getting kids involved and getting them to pick something, whatever it is, pick something and give it up. I don't think a 7-year-old can fast. I mean, I'm sure they can fast a meal, but I don't know that that's
Probably
what.
not great for their development.
Well, I mean, not even that. Just I don't know that that's they won't understand fasting, and so you would almost be doing it as punishment to them rather than helping them understand what they're doing. But
Candy.
if you can convince them of candy, things of that nature, of hey, you're giving this up for the Lord, I think it's extremely valuable and important.
Yeah.
How about the people in the worship team? You kind of pushed all them to being a part of it, and what's the feedback you're getting so far?
I haven't really gotten any feedback. A lot of them, I don't have too many newbies right now. There's only a few of them that haven't been through a sacred season yet. So a lot of them kind of knew what to expect, and we're kind of mentally prepared. Some of the feedback that I've gotten so far is a couple of the team has gone like above and beyond, and in prayer and kind of preparation for sacred season, decided that the Lord was just dealing with them, and they had some big things that they were asking the Lord to do, and just felt challenged to go liquids only for 21 days. And so waters, juices, and like protein shakes. And so I mean that I said kudos to you for that one. That's a big commitment. But one thing I kind of tried to encourage them was to, listen to their bodies and not allow this season to feel like, if they did have to, because their body was, if they had to eat something because of sugar or different things like that, to not feel like they were failing the Lord and not allow condemnation to creep in. But at the same time, don't just give up to give up. Stick to it and stick to your guns and do what you feel like the Lord's called you to do. But yeah, I would definitely have to hear from the Lord to say I'm going liquids only for 21 days.
You don't have to hear from the Lord to do that. You can do it.
I could do it, but to commit to do it, I feel like I would definitely want the Lord to have His say in that. You know what I'm saying?
I totally do.
Yeah.
I think that fasting. I've said this through this process. Fasting is my hardest spiritual discipline. What's your hardest spiritual discipline?
Praying.
Praying.
Praying for a long time.
Reading.
So it's funny that all of us have different spiritual disciplines that we struggle with. So fasting is my most difficult. And if you told me I was going on a 21-day water only fast, I agree I could do it, but it would definitely have to be the Lord saying, Jamie, I need this from you.
Yeah. It's not impossible, but it's just
Because I just
big time.
Yeah, I would not.
Yeah.
I would not choose that for myself.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the choice I
Yeah.
would make.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like people are so different. Like, I like what you said about like teenagers and like, even using them as an example. Like, I don't know how much this is gonna affect like a 7-year-old, but it's the same even with adults. It's like, for some people, even fasting a meal might not be difficult for them, but for somebody else, that's like really, really, really tough. Like for another person, like you said, like doing the water with protein and all that might not be as hard as it is for another person, you know. But as you guys were talking about that, like I even like was I had to have a conversation with a teenager the other day who struggles eating food, and I'm like, "What are you doing for the sacred season?" He's like, "I'm fasting a meal." I'm like, "You're not fasting a meal. It will be difficult for you to actually eat food,
every meal,
you know."
right?
And so we talked about it, and he's like, "You're right. Like, you know, I prayed about it, and I think God is actually like telling me to actually start eating, like
Yep.
because that is very, very difficult for my flesh to do." And I was like, "Wow." Like, so I think, you know, obviously, like it's good for us as a church to, you know, try to fast the same thing, you know, because you know, like the Bible says, you know, consecrate a fast. Let's do this together. But then also people, like he said, with his worship team, can go above, or even God can even tell him, hey, like maybe it's not wise for you to fast a meal. It's gonna affect you medically, so you need to
Yeah,
to
for
eat,
sure.
you know.
For sure, it is. It is a challenge. It is no doubt extremely difficult, and um, I, 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 I used my dad fasted all the time, so I saw it a lot whenever I was growing up because it was his favorite spiritual discipline, and so seeing it and then operating in it is something that even I was probably, I don't know, 16 years old, 15 years old when I went on my first long fast, and um, started down a journey where I almost used fasting um, to almost, I don't want to say bargain with God, but to, okay, God, I'm going to fast because I need this prayer answered. And you know, it's one of the things we read in the fasting book. Like, yes, that is, God does answer prayers in this season, and this is what He does. But you know, the fasting part of it isn't about doing it to get your prayer answered. It's about doing it to get your flesh aligned with your spirit. I mean, yeah. So anyways, it's very interesting thinking about how difficult and challenging fasting has become. What's May doing?
Um, I can share. Well, we're in addition to, you know, the fast that the church is doing, we decided to um do the Daniel fast as well.
Whew,
That's
Lord.
what I said. He told me.
Yeah, so we will be doing stuff on the ground. Yeah, but
Is that
yeah,
what you were doing the year that you got drafted?
that was what I was doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I drafted. Yeah, but
You
yeah,
needed some protein.
I chickened out at the end.
Mm.
But like Simeon
It's a cool
said,
story though.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Cool
but,
story.
but yeah, so we're doing the Daniel fast as well as the stuff the church is doing. And for her, it's very, very difficult because she's a sweets person, like sugar and so and coffee as well.
Mhm.
So and we're not doing coffee.
I saw Jensen Franklin. I said this morning, but I saw Jensen
Yeah.
Franklin had
This is
a
about
cup
to
of
be
coffee
funny.
and it said, "What's yeah? Yes, I'm or something. Yes, I'm drinking coffee on the Daniel fast because it's a bean." I was like, I agree completely. I love it.
Yeah.
What's Liv doing?
She's fasting a meal every day. We're doing lunch. We're both doing lunch. Um, and she's done the 24-hour a few times with me.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times I think. I've done it 3 and she's done it twice. Um, which is that one's definitely difficult for
Yeah.
her.
24 hours seems like because we are fasting a meal. So if you're fasting, let's say you're fasting breakfast, and then you go 24 hours. So we go from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. So if you're fasting breakfast, you're going 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., but then you didn't eat the night before. So you're fasting from the night before all the way through the next day, and then all the way through lunch the next day. So it's way more like,
It's like 40 hours.
40 hours that
Yeah.
you're fasting, and it's challenging. It is really challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did the one after the staff Christmas party because we started ours, 19 days early.
Mhm.
Couldn't eat Friday night, had that dinner, and then didn't eat all day Saturday, and then going into Christmas Eve was unable to eat until after church that day. Man, that was awful.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
It's a challenge for sure. And I don't think kids understand why fasting is important. I wish not that it's your job to teach kids or anything, but I wish I hope they understand the value of fasting and why it's important, and I hope my kids do. I hope I've done a good job of teaching them or training them about fasting and helping them understand how beneficial fasting can be to their life. And again, I would just encourage all of you that if you're starting off in a fast, like, it's okay to start off slow and to grow through the fast.
Yeah.
Don't hit your it's kind of like when you do burnouts working out. You don't start with burnouts.
Yeah.
You end with burnouts.
Yeah.
So whatever your burnout, your max capacity is, you do that at the end of the fast, not day 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Do that on day 20. Give it your all then.
Yeah, it's funny because as you were talking about it, I was thinking about when I told them to fast social. At first, my mind was like, I'm going to tell them I think we should fast social media. And immediately I felt like the Lord was just like, no,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So I changed my wording to, all right, teens, as a youth group, we're going to fast some type of social media, because like it's just going to be something that is going to be too overwhelming for them.
But the last week, you totally could say,
Yeah.
hey, it's Wednesday night
Yeah.
from now until Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Let's give up all social media.
Yeah.
Let's just turn it off. Everything on your phone.
Yeah. They will hate me, but it's good.
But if 3 of them do it and hear the voice of God during that time,
Yeah.
totally worth it.
I agree.
I mean, they're going to hate you sometimes anyways. It's teenagers. It's what they do.
I know.
Hate you today,
They
love
have-
you tomorrow.
They have a love-hate
Yeah.
relationship with you.
I was just thinking about Carson and coaching Carson, too,
Oh. She gets so angry at Tobena.
Yeah.
And listen, Tobena's been in our life for 10 years, I'm going to say. How long's it been?
Since 2015.
So almost 10 years. Tobena's been in our life. And my kids got to know Tobena when they were, so if it's 10 years, Carson was 6 years old. And so, they've grown up calling you their brother. There's no doubt in their mind that they are family, that you are family. They when you would leave us and go to Houston to go visit your family while you were here, they were confused as young children why Tobena wasn't here for Christmas or whatever it was, because you are and you were in that season of their life family. And so whenever you're coaching her, y'all have a brother-sister relationship out there where y'all yell and scream at each other, and it is very interesting watching y'all interact with each other out there.
She does more of the yelling, don't you?
She
think?
does way more of the yelling. You do that.
Maddie
you-
thinks otherwise.
You get that aggressive African voice that you do.
Yeah.
Cousin! And
Yeah.
go there and there now.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Go there and there now.
Yeah.
And the whole time Carson's going there to there, she's talking,
Yeah.
barking at him the whole time.
But she still does it though.
But
so
she still does it,
she's a warrior.
and she is better because of it.
Yeah.
And so now you're going to coach her high school soccer team,
Volunteer coach.
volunteer coach her high school soccer team, and she's going to hate you.
Hate me more. I know. I was just thinking the same thing. Tough love though.
And the
tough love.
first 10 or 12 days of it, she's going to be fasting as well. So she's out there exhausted, drained, and
And then I just
then
come
you
in.
yelling at her, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I'm just having all these pictures in my head, man. Lord help me. You guys pray
can't
for
wait.
me.
I
please.
can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
She's gonna hate you.
No doubt. No doubt about it. It's
you
gonna be good though.
Did you
Yeah.
get any soccer steak gear yet?
No, I haven't showed up to practice yet. But
I don't.
I think it got rained out the first one y'all
Yeah.
had because we had that bad
Yesterday.
storm. Yeah. Yesterday or Tuesday. Yeah. When was your first time fasting, Tobin?
I can't remember because I was probably like I was younger. I was a lot younger. Don't make.
What are you
one of those
laughing
jokes.
at?
He's
No.
fasting from the womb, baby.
No, really though, because I mean, I grew up Anglican and then I went
Yeah, I was
to-
about to say I can totally see this
We-
being a
Yeah,
normal part of your
Yeah.
upbringing.
yeah. Grew up Anglican and then even the school I went to in like middle school and high school was a Roman Catholic school,
Mm-hmm.
and so we did the whole
That-
Lent thing, Ash Wednesday stuff as well. And then my mom, whenever it was leading towards Easter or even Christmas, like randomly, she'd just tell us, "Look, we're not eating from 6 to 6," and we're like, she's like, "I'm the mother of this house." I'm like, "Okay, we're not eating from 6 to 6," and so
I
we
love
did that.
Mama
We
Uzo.
did that a lot, but I wouldn't say that. I would say that it wasn't until I was here in Coastal Carolina in college, going to Palmetto Pointe Church, that I actually like understood like, okay, this is the reason why we're fasting, is to like die to self and draw closer to God and let God do what God does.
So college was your first time I'm deciding to fast.
Yeah,
Not mama saying, "Hey,
saying that,
fast,"
yeah.
but I'm deciding this is what I'm going to do because I want to.
yeah, for sure.
Very interesting. I would say when's the first time you fast, Caleb? That you decided I'm gonna fast myself.
I mean, we've been doing sacred season for 9 years, so we always had to consciously give up something in those moments. But the first time I did like a real one, I guess, not that minuscule stuff isn't real. I was probably 6th or 7th grade. 7th grade is whenever we went from Daniel fast to giving up a meal. It's kind of when we made that push over in our household, at least, where instead of us kids were cool. to
I
do
think
it.
you're way older than that.
No.
Yeah, we've only been doing that for like 4 years.
Yeah.
That's what us kids did. That's what you gave
Oh,
us.
maybe
instead
for
of,
your kids.
yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry,
I
I
don't-
thought you were saying I thought you meant like we as a church.
Yeah, we, as a family, you let us kids just do fast a meal, and we gave up. I remember giving up breakfast and that, and then I remember the first like conscious effort where it was not doing it because the church said so was probably freshman year, 9th or sophomore year for sure. Where I just walked into school with a water bottle and my book bag, and I'd fast lunch every day, and
Nice.
I've done lunch every meal every year since.
Probably not a lot of teenagers that are just deciding to fast.
No, that's why I didn't do it when I was a teenager. That's why I didn't do it when I was a teenager. No, it's definitely, it's not a thing. I didn't even think about it being a thing.
So let's give wisdom to parents, because most likely teens aren't watching this.
Yeah.
Well, they may, because they're cool youth pastors on this time
Mhm. Trucker hat.
with this trucker hat, rooted in love. You look
Wait,
so
don't-
familiar.
Don't even think about it.
So familiar.
All right.
So let's give some advice to parents watching this. What should they? They got a week left of sacred season. Let's say they're watching this. What kind of encouragement should they give their kids, or what kind of push should they give their kids? How can they help their teenager or their middle school tween, 4th, 5th grader? How can they help them get on board here for the last, let's say, week of sacred season?
Well, I think number one is making it clear to them that they're doing it as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, parents, you have to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Like, no, hey, go fast, Mom. You're eating lunch. I'm
Yeah.
like, you fast.
Right.
I didn't say I was gonna, but I would definitely say it does help, like, because accountability as well. But then also, like, I mean, they look up to you, you know. But then also, in addition to that, I'll just say it's just the benefits of it, like, in this day and age, time, like the time, if you ask these teens, like which we do multiple times, we're like, hey, write down the things that you think is priority in your life, and everybody says the same thing: God, family, and then friends.
Mm.
Like, but the thing is that what you spend your time doing shows like where your heart is, And so I tell them, I'm like, hey, if God is really number one priority in your life, like, what are you spending your time doing?
Yeah.
Like, And so they're like, okay, it does make sense. And so now in this fasting season, they know that the reason why it's so difficult for them to fast social media or fast food is because there's a part of them that's drawing towards things other than God.
Yeah.
So I think that that's definitely something you can encourage your teens to.
So,
Yeah, that's
Sim,
good.
you grew up in a Christian home. Mom and dad, obviously, very spiritual people. Give parents out there advice or wisdom on how they can encourage their teenager, their middle school, high school, or maybe even fourth, fifth grader, third grader. How can they encourage them to, again, let's say there's a week left in the fast. How can they encourage them to finish strong or to pick up something here in the last week?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I even learned stuff. This was my first year reading the fasting book. So, reading that book, I learned things that may have been said, but I never really grasped like what they meant to me and what fasting, some of the promises that God's made in His Word about fasting, and that He's made promises to His children that if you do this, then He will do this. And so for me, like, there's so many people, no matter what your age is, that we all have things in our lives that we want to see God do, whether it be family members that are dealing with sickness, or family members that we want to see come to Christ, or just drawing closer to the Lord, or it could be a plethora of things that we have desires from God to see Him do in our lives, and He promises in His Word to perform and to do miracles and to do incredible things and to meet needs, and it is tied to fasting in so many ways, and not just fasting, but our obedience and our surrender, and that is what this season and fasting is. It's us laying ourselves down and picking up Christ and picking up time with Him and making those things a priority. So, for me, it has to start with an understanding of I need God and I need Him more in my life. And once we get that, we can build a foundation of truth and know that that is the basis of why we should desire to fast. I don't. My flesh doesn't desire to fast,
Mine either.
but my spirit man knows that my flesh needs to fast. And so, for me, like my mom and dad, I don't think they ever asked me to fast. I don't remember them. They told us that they were fasting, or things like that. But they never like required that of us. But it did happen. I just remember specifically that 14 was the first time that I ever did water only. But to me, it comes down to a basic knowledge that I need God more, and a parent needs to know that to be able to commit that to their children.
Yeah.
And then from there, I feel like it's a lot easier for you to go from I need God more to I know fasting is a way that I can lay myself down, and make it an option. And you don't have to go like water only, but you can lay down like Tobin is doing with the youth, lay down social media or things that you
If you're
naturally
stopping to get a coffee every day, lay
Yeah.
that down. If you're,
Yeah.
if you're a big sweets person and you got to have a slice of cake every night with dinner, lay that down. Whatever.
Lay Netflix
Find
and
something.
Hulu and all that stuff down.
Am I trying to beat in the
Yeah,
wall over
for
here?
real. But lay something down that is taking attention and taking time, and draw closer to Him. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. My favorite worship song right now is I just heard it yesterday. Oh, great mountain, get up out of my way. You heard it yet?
No, but I
Get
heard
up
you.
out of my way.
I heard you singing
Sing it
it
simple.
while you.
Oh,
I've only listened to it one time.
oh, great mountain, get up out of my way. Get up out of my way. What's your favorite worship song right now?
This is gonna be funny.
Okay.
You're gonna laugh at me.
I cannot wait to hear this.
You know exactly what
No,
I'm
I
about to
don't.
say. I know you do.
No, I don't.
I think right
Oh
now.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what
Say
I'm
it.
about to say. Right now.
Say holy forever.
It is holy forever.
Stop it right
Yeah.
now.
Because the way
He
our
hated
church,
it. Fought
I
against
did,
Carson and I
I
putting
did.
it on
I really did.
the set list. Did not want it.
I did not
Yeah.
like the original version from the original artist, and we won't name names because I don't want to get canceled. But,
Yeah.
but once we did it in our church, and
Ah.
our church responded the way they did, it's like for me, there's like gratitude and holy forever, and they're like up here.
Yeah.
And then praise, elevations, praise. Those are like my top 3 right now. And we're doing 2 of them tonight. So
Did everything.
yeah,
Did everything. Praise the Lord.
yeah.
Praise the Lord.
That one's good.
Did everything. Did everything. Praise the Lord. We about to get canceled right now 'cause they're going to think, oh no, they used that track. That sounds just like it. What's your favorite worship song right now?
I like praise. But I would say, endless praise is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I like endless praise. And just I think even like
The song that we keep trying to do and haven't been able to
Yeah.
do.
even like just having her. I liked the song prior to her actually singing it
Mhm.
here. But when she did, I was like, man, I love this.
Same
song,
way.
you know?
Same exact way.
Same for me. I was never a huge fan of it. I listened to it and I was like, oh, that's cool. But when she did it here, I was like, wow.
Same
Yeah.
way.
We got to do that song.
I have another one, but don't worry.
What is it?
It was the one. I think part of the reason why I like it is because the teens did a drama for it, and it just like I was crying. Like, it was the light of fire.
Yeah.
It's the light of
It's
fire
really good.
that the world can burn out and the flames.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nothing.
I had never
love
heard that song until
David
Leonard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David Leonard.
It's so good. It's so good. I've been playing it all day on repeat today.
So good.
That's a great song.
One that for me, it got me, and I don't think it's great. I don't know, but it's he's an on-time God. He's an on-time God. Abby Gamboa and
Yeah.
Chandler Moore.
Uh huh.
I've not heard. It's probably
I
new.
know.
It's,
I know.
It's newer.
New?
It's on their
I've not heard it.
The Way album.
It's called On Time God, right? Is that what it's called?
Looking it up now.
On time, God.
Yeah, On Time God. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to get kicked off. Abby Gamboa and Chandler Moore.
From Women Evolve Worship.
Oh, jump. It brought up an ad, or maybe I clicked on an ad. I don't know. You know, all these young folk.
Yeah, I have played a part of that, but I haven't listened to the whole thing yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
You should totally
When did
listen
it
to
come out?
it. 3 months ago.
Okay.
Look at what Chandler Moore's wearing.
That
Dude,
to benefit.
That, you could totally pull that off, Tobena.
Not at church. I ain't
Not
wearing
at church. Don't do that at church.
I would
Sleeveless,
see-
them guns hanging out.
Not just my pastor that I'm gonna see like in front of me, but I'm gonna see my mom as well, even though
Yes.
she's in Africa.
Yes.
I'll be like, she's gonna be like. So
What's your favorite worship song right now, Caleb?
King of Heaven. It's Tribal in Maverick City. We listen to it in prayer. yeah.
King of heaven,
feel
fill
this.
this
That's
place.
not it. Not the one.
That just made my day.
And then Agnus Dei. It's the Latin order.
Agnus Dei.
Agnus Dei.
Oh,
Agnus.
Agnes
It's
Dei.
Latin, bro.
Agnes
It's
Dei.
Latin. It's Latin. I know it's steak.
What was the one before it? King of Glory?
King of Heaven.
King of Heaven. Don't play it because we'll have to look it up now. I heard it in prayer today. Was it
It was prayer.
It's the old
Dante
Maverick
Bowe?
City.
Dante Bowe lead?
No, it's.
Is it
Yeah,
tribal?
it's
It's
a tribal
Tribal in
song.
Maverick City. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's Dante Bowe that leads it.
I'm looking at the
it's not, but I
It's
can't
not.
remember the guy's name that leads it.
Joel Barnes.
Joel Barnes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done some good stuff.
He is. He's a beast. He's,
Yeah, it's featuring Ryan Afey.
Yeah, Ryan's.
what's
cool
the one
too.
that plays the keys? For Maverick City?
Aaron. Aaron, yeah, it's Aaron. see.
I have a friend. I have a friend who knows someone that draws.
Tell him come visit us.
I might actually,
Reach out
Hit
to him.
him up.
Say, come on. Come hang out with us.
because he's from California.
Well, what's your favorite worship song right now? Drop it in the comments section. I'd love to hear it because Pastor Simeon will come back and sing all of these that are in the comment
Every
section.
single one of them.
All of these.
Aaron Moses.
Aaron
Aaron
Moses, yeah,
Moses.
he's a beast too. Anyways, love you guys. God bless. Thanks for spending some time with us. Encourage your kids to fast. Click here for the next video. Click here to subscribe. Click here for whatever YouTube puts up here in the future. Love you. God bless. Peace out. Let's go.
Go.